The Samsung S24 Ultra was considered by many to be the best Android phone you can buy in 2024. So, can the brand new Samsung S25 Ultra top that? Or is Samsung settle? So in today's day in the life, we're going to be taking the S25 Ultra through its paces to see what it's really like to use it. And we're going to be testing out the performance, the cameras, the display, the software, and the battery life to see if it's worth purchasing the S25 Ultra. It's currently 9:57 and our battery percentage is at 97%. We've got a pretty busy day ahead of us, so let's get into this day in the life. It's weird to say, but the Ultra is starting to feel a lot like the iPhone Pro phones in a lot of ways. Looking at the main differences between the S24 and S25 Ultra, we get a new 50MP ultra-wide sensor, a slightly bigger screen with smaller bezels, the upgraded Snapdragon Elite chipset, a curvy design, more AI features with Gemini and cross-app action, and a downgraded S Pen. Sounds a lot like the differences between the iPhone 15 Pro and the 16 Pro. But I guess if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Well, we're gonna see if these differences make a big difference in my day-to-day usage. Anyway, it's time for me to get going and pick up a few of my friends.
Let me make it up to you. I promise I'll wait up for you. Say just what you mean and leave it all behind. Tell me pretty lies that I just can't deny. Trust me, I've been trying to change, but I'm divided. Just give me one more chance to make this right, cause I swear you're the only one I need.
Alright, so now we have made it to our destination. It's now 11:08, battery percentage is at 89%. You may be wondering why I have two stands. Well, this is because my old stand does not have any wireless charging, but ESR has sent me out their new G2 wireless car charger. And this thing is pretty awesome. So the ESR G2 wireless charger is equipped with Cryo Boost because the biggest issue with wireless chargers is heat. Now, heat also damages the battery life, especially in the car when the sun is on your phone. It's going to make your phone even more hotter, making the wireless charger even slower because it can't take that full wattage. Cryo Boost has fans built into the G2 wireless charger to make sure that your phone is at the optimal temperature so they can allow for ultra-fast 15-watt wireless charging, which is only possible by their new advanced cooling technology. It also has a really strong magnetic lock, so if you have a MagSafe compatible phone or a MagSafe compatible case, like the one that I have here from ESR, this is the hybrid case, then you can pretty much stick it on here and it doesn't move. It's pretty locked in and you don't have to worry about the phone falling off the wireless charger. ESR is a leading brand in MagSafe accessories, so make sure to check the link in the description to get one of these for yourself. And thank you once again to ESR for sponsoring this video. And for the sake of this video, because it is a real day in the life, I won't be charging the phone. I've actually unplugged it so that we get some realistic battery life results at the end of the day. But anyway, let's get going. Yeah, I told you, man. I told you, man. Now we've reached the waterfront. It is now currently 12:57. Our battery percentage is at 77%. Now I'm going to test out the cameras on the S25 Ultra. I'm here with my battery. Let's take some photos. Let's take a quick look at what cameras are equipped on the S25 Ultra. Starting with the main camera, we get a 200MP sensor alongside the new 50MP ultra-wide sensor, which is up from 12MP. We also get the 3x telephoto lens, that is 10MP, and the 5x optical periscope lens, which is 50MP. Taking photos on the main camera, we get some really nice dynamic range, colors, and a decent depth of field. Skin tones look natural and photos are detailed with good exposure in the highlights and shadows. We can also crop into 2x to get a more natural perspective, which helps enhance the depth of field effect. Photos are clear, vibrant, and balanced. On the ultra-wide camera, we get some really nice dynamic range like the main sensor, and overall sharpness in details is quite good. Contrast and sharpness appears to be stronger when compared to the main camera, which I do prefer, but that's more of my personal opinion. The S25 Ultra has a dedicated 3x zoom lens, but I do feel like it has started to fall behind a little. While it is better than cropping into the main sensor like the iPhone, you can tell that this isn't the best quality. It's not nearly as sharp at 10MP and with a much smaller sensor. It just doesn't look as good as the rest of the other cameras. However, the 5x optical camera picks up things and we get some really nice photos with good colors, dynamic range, sharpness, details, and a good depth of field effect for background compression. I also tried out the portrait mode, and while edge detection and the new object aware engine does a great job at separating the person from the background, it does feel a little bit fake in my opinion. It just doesn't match the Oppo or Xiaomi's portrait mode. Selfies look great as usual, but they are still 12MP. Skin tones are accurate thanks to the new image signal processor. As usual, we can zoom up to 100x and get some usable results. However, unlike Oppo and Vivo, there is no AI image generative zoom, so it relies on a more natural sharpening process, which some people might prefer over the AI zoom. Looking at the video abilities on the S25 Ultra, we can shoot up to 8K 30, but because that only works on the main sensor, I only shoot at 4K. Video quality looks great across all the different focal lengths, and the dynamic range, sharpness, and colors are pretty similar to what you get from the photos. Video quality looks great and stabilization is still pretty good as well. There are a few new other features on the cameras. The ability to shoot and log, just like the iPhone Pro models, which allows you to shoot in a low contrast profile for better color correction in filmmaking. A new audio eraser tool for videos, kinda like the iPhones, giving you the ability to remove unwanted sounds, a new macro photography mode, and a new photographic style filter, which allows you to use a photo and grab those colors and apply it as a filter onto any footage you shoot. Overall, these are pretty good additions, but nothing crazy. The S25 Ultra cameras are as you expect, high-end, feature-rich, and impressive, but there just isn't any significant differences from the S24 Ultra, and improvements aren't really that significant. Just like the iPhone 16 Pro, I'm giving the S25 Ultra cameras an A rating.
What's up? What's going on here? What is that?
So we just finished up eating some lunch. It is now currently 2:02. Battery percentage is at 66%. Now let's talk about the display on the S25 Ultra. So the S25 Ultra is pretty similar to last year's S24 Ultra. It is 0.1 inch bigger than the last generation, now at 6.9 inches, and that is due to the slimmer bezels. Now we have a 92.5% screen to body ratio, which makes the bezels on here razor thin compared to pretty much any other phone out there. The S24 Ultra's display was pretty much one of the best displays you could get on any smartphone at the time, and the S25 Ultra is basically the same thing. Now we do get 2600 nits of peak brightness, which is pretty decent for most lighting situations. I've had no trouble looking at the display in pretty much any lighting condition, even in direct sunlight, so brightness isn't an issue on the S25 Ultra. Resolution wise, we get a Quad HD Plus resolution, which is about 498 pixels per inch. I've set it to Full HD so that I can save a bit more battery, but if you ever needed extra resolution, it's all available here. Now of course, this is an LTPO AMOLED display with a 1 to 120 Hz refresh rate, and this pretty much what I can fault the S25's display for. It has the new Corning Gorilla Glass Armor 2, which has better anti-reflectivity. But for this day in the life, I do have my screen protector on it, so you can't really see it as well in this video. But I can tell you for sure that the anti-reflectivity is a game changer and makes it a lot more easy to see in more lighting conditions. Altogether, the S25 Ultra display is pretty much one of the best you can get in 2025. Apart from maybe some specific gaming phones that have like no camera notch or have a 144 165 Hz refresh rate. So I am happy to give the S25 Ultra an A+ rating for its display. Alright, I think it's time to head off now. Let's get going.
When I see her,
I can see you walking down the street.
They're hopping in the car.
Yeah, Joe.
Bye-bye.
I want, I need. I can see you with the flower in your hair, like a daddy don't know, and the devil may care. I can see you looking down on me, with money in your pocket in the penthouse suite. I need.
Alright, now that we've reached the top of a mountain, let's talk about performance on the S25 Ultra. The S25 Ultra is equipped with the new Snapdragon 8 Elite 4th Galaxy, which is essentially an overclocked 8 Elite. Considering that the 8 Elite is one of the best processors you can get for mobile phones at the moment, it's definitely a bonus to have an overclocked version. So far, this chipset has been blazing fast and I've experienced virtually no lags or stutters. The model I'm using right now has 12GB of RAM, but you can get 16GB if you need that. But I found that 12GB of RAM is pretty much all that I need for multitasking, and split screen usage has been a breeze to run on this phone. I haven't run into any overheating issues either. Even under the sun, it gets warm but not burning hot. Turning on Genshin Impact, we can play at high graphics with 60 frames per second, and there's no issues running that. Even under the sun, the performance was still pretty smooth. Overall, the performance on the S25 Ultra is one of the best out of any phone I've tested, along with the Oppo Find X8 Pro and the iPhone 16 Pro with their respective chipsets. Everything I've shown at the S25 Ultra can be handled easily with no issues, and therefore, the S25 Ultra deserves an A+ rating for its performance. good? Alright, let's get going now. What are we doing over here? Where is this going? Nowhere. Where is it supposed to go? Into go. Where are we going?
Scorching Bay!
Let's go! Me and Lewis are at the beach, but we're just sitting here listening to K-pop.
Because I don't like the beach.
Okay, now we're out of the car. It is now 5:13 and battery percentage is at 41%. But let's talk about the software and design of the S25 Ultra. So this year, the S25 Ultra is now a bit more curvier and pretty much everything else is exactly the same. Even this camera bumps are actually fake and they're just little plastic clip-ons. As you probably saw in Jerry Rick Everything's durability video. But nevertheless, I guess it feels more ergonomic in the hand, maybe. But other than that, IP68, titanium, that's pretty much it on the design side. Let's talk about the software. Headlining the S25 Ultra is the new Gemini and cross-app action features, which, to be honest, actually work decently well, I guess. For most basic tasks, it works just as you would expect, asking it questions around the internet. Anything that's connected to Google and Google Apps, it was perfectly fine. Now, however, if you do ask some more complicated questions, like maybe ESPN's results for a certain player playing right now, it won't give you any of that.
New search up on ESPN, the box score for the Spurs game.
I do not have access to real-time information, including live sports scores or box scores.
I just want to know if he's selling my parlay.
Simply because it can't access any of this information from anything that's not Google based. And unless it has ESPN linked into it, then it won't be able to do this cross-app actions. However, you do like Google Maps stuff, like if you're trying to find a certain location, or as the prime example, finding a certain restaurant with certain dietary restrictions, well, it's pretty useful and can do it pretty well. Although I would say it is a little bit limited and restricted at times, and you shouldn't rely on it fully. The only other real thing that I have to say about the AI is that, well, this is the last year you're going to get AI for free, and they haven't told us how much it's going to cost for those features. So I don't know. To be honest, I don't really care too much about AI. I don't think it makes that much of a deal. I think some of it is cool, like circle the search and the photo tools, but other than that, not too much use really. I personally don't think this should be something that you should really consider when you're purchasing a new phone, because it really doesn't make that much of a difference in my day-to-day usage. What does make a difference is the software, which we do have One UI 7, which I do find to be much more refined than past versions of One UI. It does have, I guess, a more iPhone-y look to it, but it is really slick, really smooth, and there really isn't any bugs or lags. It just makes everything look a bit more fresh, a bit more modern, which I do enjoy. You also do get all of those same flagship features like stereo speakers, an ultrasonic fingerprint scanner, which is ultra quick to unlock your phone with, and all of this other good stuff. Now, this is a fully fledged feature set, but a lot of that software will be coming down to older phones. So I can't really say that makes the S25 Ultra specifically special, but it is still flagship and has everything that you would expect. So for the features and design, I will give the Samsung S25 Ultra an A grade. Okay, now I'm going to drop off my friend Lewis, and then we're going to have to head off to another event. Let's keep going.
Hi chat. It's nice seeing you. Heart to heart to.
Okay, so it's now 6:39. The battery percentage is at 29%. Listening off to an event from work. Okay, so now the event is finished. It is currently 8:44. Our battery percentage is at 15%. Let's go home.
Baby, let's live in this moment. Don't let it slip.
Okay, so it's now 10:45, our battery percentage is at 6%. Now it's time to take a look at the battery performance to see how the S25 Ultra did throughout this day. So taking a look at our battery usage, it has been a pretty busy day. We've had a screen on time of 6 hours and 18 minutes, minusing 20 minutes from last night, which it did count in this battery status. Now, we did use quite a lot of applications and I was using mostly data for the whole day. So we had a lot of Spotify streaming, Google Maps, Instagram, quite a lot of things were happening today. So overall, the battery performance has been pretty good and I must say this is pretty impressive. This is to be expected as the S24 Ultra did also really well in most people's battery life tests. So I'm happy to give the S25 Ultra an A+ rating for the battery performance. So now let's wrap up my thoughts about what I think about the S25 Ultra overall. The S25 Ultra has one of the best displays available on any phone right now. Performance is not lacking at all. We have the fastest chip available on any phone right now. On the camera side, you get pretty much all the full-fledged features that you can expect from a high-end phone. You are getting a pretty nice software suite with Galaxy AI, One UI 7, and also a lot of software support for the next few years. However, with the AI features becoming a paid feature at the end of this year, it remains yet to see how much that would cost. So altogether, the S25 Ultra gets a 92 out of 100 or an A grade, and it's honestly an easy recommendation and a great choice for most people to pick because it pretty much has all those essentials that you would ever need and is pretty much one of the best phones you could ever get at the moment. Even though it doesn't feel much different from the S24 Ultra, an upgrade is still an upgrade and it does show that it is still better than the last generation, although you might not see that in day-to-day usage. So that's it for this video. I'm Upwards. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe to the channel. See you guys in the next video.